quite the week of news. Now, let's just get right into it because it is going to be fun. Let me pull up the chat so if you guys have any comments, I'll be able to see that. And we're gonna start out with some news on the Ukraine-Russia situation, which we covered pretty lengthily last week. But there's something I missed. There's something I shouldn't have missed that I feel kind of dumb for missing. Uh, so the Kerch standoff has become known, and neither side really seems willing to budge on this issue. Not that I can really blame either side, but the Russians have continued military drills near the Ukrainian border. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on who you ask, the world's attention has seemed to shift away from the initial incident, especially the one 4 weeks ago with a bit of a firefight and exchange where everyone thought World War III was going to happen. Now, neither the EU or the US have come out and put on new sanctions or anything. Now, I bet those are coming in the near future, but they haven't as of now, which kind of surprised me. You figured they would be all over this. Now, last time we discussed this, I definitely overlooked something. Now, the neoliberals want Russia and Ukraine to go to war. As much as they talk about how much they care about Ukrainian sovereignty and the free Ukraine and, whatever tripe they give us, at the end of the day, they're willing to use Ukraine. Oh, there's going to be false flag here and here and here. Now, it wouldn't surprise me, but again, I don't think the Russians are going to fall for it. They're talking about how, oh, the Kiev regime, they're going to, because they know exactly what is going on.
Inside Ukraine, we still don't have any kind of satellite images to kind of massive movement, a massive takeover of Ukraine. It's just enough help. And if anything is a sign of where things are going, it's the fact that we now have the Crimean Bridge. Completion is still not 100%, but it is nearly 100%. And in fact, the whole Kerch debacle began because the bridge was closed at that time for work, and Ukraine decided to go through. I mean, obviously, it was to test Russia, to poke, but it's inevitable now. They have a bridge and they can bypass them. Turkish Stream is a go. So, back in 2015, the talk was, Ukraine is going to become independent from Russia. The truth is, Russia is becoming independent from Ukraine.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's funny because up until the quote-unquote annexation of Crimea, as I call it, the secession, because that's what it was, you had a population of ethnic Russians wanting to join Russia. I doubt that requires much foreign interference, but that's aside the point. Ukraine had quite a bit of leverage over Russia, considering the fact they could say, oh, yeah, you can stay in Crimea if you follow this, this, and this. And they didn't do it too much, but they did use their leverage a bit, and up into the lead-up of the quote-unquote revolution, the Maidan, the great heroes of Ukraine overthrowing the evil Russian fascists just to become actual fascists themselves, but no Western liberals will ever talk about that. It's a bit funny considering the fact that that happened, and now Russia pretty much has no use for Ukraine. They have no interest in going into the Donbass or Luhansk or any of these eastern Ukrainian cities. What do they have to offer them? Russia has exactly what they need. They have Crimea, they have the access to the warm water ports, and of course the Istanbul, or as it should be called, the Constantinople Straits. They're international waters, so it's not like Russia.
The kind of power it is without a warm water port, and for Russia, its western flank has always been more important than its eastern flank.
Yeah, I mean, the frozen over.
Yeah, I would say they've handled the situation really well.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
Russia, just by simple moves, has managed to outmaneuver the West. That's how arrogant and dull the West has become, that we're being outmaneuvered by, I have no hatred for the Russians. I actually have had a very positive opinion, as those of you who watch this show know, ultimately by a country like Russia. That's the state we're in right now.
Yeah, and in fact, for them, it's been a good jolt. I believe back in the 1890s, the British built a bridge where the Crimean Bridge is right now, or they attempted to. Russia had plans during the Soviet era of building a bridge, but never got to it. And so here we are. That they've got this. I believe it's around 21 kilometers long. I don't quote me, but it's complete, and this will change everything.
And
Also, Nord Stream 2. So
yeah,
there's all these Asian pipelines that are running through Ukraine that Russia doesn't need right now.
yeah, you have the care about is themselves, which pretty much goes without saying. Yeah, at the end of the day, Russia has pretty much won major victories by doing very little. And it's funny about this Crimea bridge because do you remember? I think it was back in July. You had that. I can't remember who it was, but it was some blue checkmark journalist saying that the Ukrainian government needs to blow up the Crimean bridge.
Yes, I remember that. I mean, that was sheer desperation. We have to do something. The bridge is nearly done.
Yeah, 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 but
Yeah, I mean, they know the big is up. Also, that area around Azov and the southeastern side of Crimea has a lot of oil deposits, underwater oil deposits.
yeah,
And so now they're Russians. So
yeah, and just for the more ingenious analysis from the blue check marks, you got to remember when this crisis first started, they were saying how like we need a fleet in the Black Sea when U.S. ships. I think the Black Sea is actually too shallow for U.S. ships to even get into.
yeah, I mean, it's a crowded sea, anyways. This Bulgaria, Romania, Turkey, Russia, Ukraine. I don't know about some of the other Central Asian countries if they have any ports there, but I mean, there's five there already. Of course, American ships do enter on rotation, but like, what are they going to do? Like,